Let's get good. Welcome back to Legends of Runeterra, and today we're going to be doing our very first deck tech. The deck we'll be showcasing today is called Mortal Enemies. It's kind of a lore-rich title. You guys might figure it out once you see the champion pool. We've got Lucian in here, we've also got Thresh, and of course you can't have Lucian and Thresh without having Senna, Sentinel of Light. Now for those of you who don't know, in the lore, Senna is Lucian's wife, and she is trapped by Thresh inside of his lantern, and just recently broke out to join the rest of the champions on the Rift in League of Legends. So that is a little bit of background. That's why this deck is called Mortal Enemies, because Lucian and Thresh, they're kind of mortal enemies. However, in this game, they actually function very, very well together. So a lot of this deck is built around Last Breath and Death Triggers. One thing to keep in mind as well, though, is that, as usual, we do have a very solid curve here, something that ensures that you have kind of an even mana flow throughout the game as you make your way through. We do peak out at 2 here. The reason we're peaking out at 2 is likely because we have 3 Lucians, we have 3 Glimpse Beyonds, and we have 3 Cursed Keepers. Cursed Keepers great in this deck mainly because of their Last Breath trigger, which gives us a much bigger creature for the same 2 mana. That is actually something I want to talk about a little bit before we really go into playtesting this. A lot of the Shadow Isles cards, if you're a new player who's not accustomed to card games, can seem a little bit unappealing, and the reason for that is because a lot of them function around killing your own stuff. So Black Spear only works if a minion of yours died. That's actually not too bad. That's one I would probably play as a new player without any issue. Curse Keeper requiring something to kill him might seem like a complication, but I'm more looking at just things like Glimpse Beyond, where you kill an ally to draw 2 cards. That might seem crazy because you're like, okay, but I'm killing one of my creatures and giving up board presence, but you're gaining card advantage with Glimpse from Beyond. Ravenous Butcher's another great example to play me kill an ally. Okay, he's free, but you're also destroying one of your own creatures. And then I think the best example is probably the Ancient Crocolith here. To play me kill 2 allies, I look at that card, and as a new player, you might go, whoa, wait a minute. So you want me to kill 2 creatures to get one really big one? That doesn't seem like a good deal. That's trading a card for a bigger creature. But the catch there is that death triggers are incredibly powerful, and you also have cards that you just want to kill, like your Hapless Aristocrats here, or your Warden's Prey. Both of these do great things when they die. Hapless Aristocrat gives you another creature that you can then use to chump block or sacrifice for another card. Ravenous Butcher will kill cards for you. Warden's Prey here will give you another follower in your hand when it dies, so it's basically just out there to chump block and set up Lucian and Thresh for their levels. Both Lucian and Thresh level when they've seen enough allies die. That's a great commonality between the two, and that's the core behind what makes this deck really work well. Single combat here accomplishes a very similar task to everything else we've looked at in the deck. So with this, one of your allies and an enemy strike each other. The idea here is that if I need to kill a Curse Keeper, I can use single combat to kill something with 1 health, sacrifice my Curse Keeper, and in exchange, we'll get a nice 4/4 Escaped Abomination. That's called winning. We've also got Dawn Speakers in here, which grant other allies +1/+1 if an ally died this round. You could have a few more of these. I'm only running 1 because I only had 1. This is another nice core piece to the entire deck, though, the Phantom Prankster. Now, a lot of the variants of this deck I've seen don't run Phantom Prankster, and I can't really figure out why. I do think that it's a very powerful card when used correctly in this deck. So the way Phantom Prankster works is every time something dies and it's on the board, you deal 1 damage to their Nexus, which can A, help you close out games, B, help you wear them down and set up to close out games. It just does a lot of things. I think the problem that people run into with this card, though, is that once you put it on the bench, you feel like, oh, I don't want to block with it and let it die because then I'm losing value. But the reality is you're only paying 3 mana for it, so if you can get it to trigger 2 or 3 times and then use it to chump block something, you're actually getting full value. So if you play it correctly, it doesn't really hold you back. We've got a Relentless Pursuit in here. This will just allow us to rally at fast speed on any one of our turns. Nice way to sneak in an extra attack when you don't have a Lucian to play or you have already gotten Lucian's level 2 trigger. Lucian's level 2 trigger, by the way, is the first time an ally dies each round. Each round you can rally. Rally allows you to attack again. So if you've already attacked this turn and then you rally, you can attack a second time. If your opponents attacked on the turn because it was their attack phase and you rally, then you're able to then counter-attack them, which will then go to your turn where you get to attack again. So essentially, this makes you able to attack a lot more often. Combine that with the fact that Lucian also has double attack, so he hits twice, and he's very capable of closing out games on his own once leveled up. Even when he's not leveled up, he's a very strong card because he is a 3/2 with quick attack for 2 mana. Now, when we look at how that interacts with our dear Thresh here, so Thresh requires 6 enemies to level up. He does have Challenger. He has a hefty amount of health, a decent attack, so you can kind of use him to whittle down their board as you set up for his level 2. And then his level 2 is the first time he attacks this game. As the level 2, you can summon another attacking champion from your deck or hand. So that's incredible, because essentially what you can do is you can set up things like this. You can have a Lucian and a Senna on the board. You can kill Lucian, draw 2 cards, which causes Senna to then trigger her the first time I see an allied Lucian die, grant me +1/+1 and double attack. So now she's got double attack, Lucian's off the board. However, your level 2 Thresh, or maybe your Thresh just leveled to level 2 because of you killing that Lucian, now you swing out with Thresh, you swing out with Senna. Thresh will pull another Lucian out of your deck. Let's say that somebody in that combat dies, either Thresh or a different companion you have, or you have another Glimpse Beyond in your hand. You come back from that first combat, you Glimpse Beyond, boom, your Lucian levels. You now have a double attack Lucian that has rallied you guys so you can swing again. You have a double attack Senna that is a 5/3, and you may or may not still have a Thresh that has Challenger that can pull any blockers out of the way. You just synced up the game. That's essentially what we want to do with this deck. Now, the thing that adds value to all of that is Phantom Prankster, because with Phantom Prankster, if we get to the end of the game and for whatever reason their board presence is so powerful we can't get by it, we can still just let our stuff die or kill our own stuff and finish them off. Now you add in Chronicler of Ruin here, which kills an ally, then revives it when it comes into play. This will trigger Last Breath. It will not trigger Enters Play effects. Like, it won't trigger things that happen when you play a creature or a follower, but it will trigger things like the Summon a Spiderling on Hapless Aristocrat, the Get a 3-cost follower here. It'll trigger things like Curse Keeper, so you can essentially use that on Curse Keeper, get your 4/4 Abomination, and still have a Curse Keeper on the board. We finish things out here with Commander Ledros, who did receive a nerf so he can no longer flat out kill people. However, cutting the Nexus health in half and returning to his hand when he dies is good enough to actually allow you to finish people with Phantom Prankster anyway. So once again, Phantom Prankster finds a good home in this deck, in my opinion. We also have Vanguard Redeemer here. When I'm summoned, draw a unit if an ally died this round. We get some value out of that because we're going to be killing our units a lot. Let's go ahead and take this into the test games. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. I was trying to make sure that I covered enough of the deck there to elaborate. But we're going to actually take it out for a run and see how it does. Let's find our Mortal Enemies deck and go. In my testing with this deck, I've had very positive results. It is easy to see that what's coming. Like, if you're another player and you see somebody sit down and they're playing a deck with Lucian and Thresh, you should know what's coming. Oh, and I know what's coming here. This is going to be interesting. So we've got a Heimer deck here. He's going to be looking to play a lot of spells, potentially even a Catalyst deck. That would be kind of cool. Or Cataclysm. I can't remember which one it is. It's the Cat Kills You deck. Anyways, we've got a pretty decent starting hand here. I'm not sure which of these we really want to keep. Single Combat doesn't look very strong with this hand right now. Black Spear also not looking great. Having Senna's nice, having Phantom Prankster's nice. I think we'll send these two back. Hope for something a little cheaper. There we go. That's perfect. We'll take a Hapless Aristocrat here. We do have double Sennas now, which means we can get some value out of that if we pull a Lucian. And, okay. You guys are going to start off with Scrap Scuttler. Cool deal. Oh, that was at Burst Speed. I didn't even realize that spell is Burst Speed. That's kind of cool. So they're going to get 1 damage here. There's nothing we can do about it. That's fine. We're going to put out a Hapless Aristocrat. If they get a Heimer out, we need to kill the Heimer immediately. Heimer is dangerous in that he is sort of a full force multiplier in this game, because if they play a spell, then they can essentially play a turret for free that round, which means that every time they play a spell with Heimer on the board, they get a free unit, which is a problem. So here we could go in with our 1/1, see if they chump block. We could Ravenous Butcher, sacrifice our 1/1, go in and maybe get some extra damage. But then they get to block against our Ravenous Butcher. I think what we'll do here, because there's no point in over-committing, is we'll just go in like this and see if they're willing to trade 1/1s. Okay, that's fine. If we trade a Spiderling for the Ravenous Butcher, that's not a bad deal. But we're also at 2 mana right now, so we can save that up in our spell mana. Even though we don't have any spells to play, we could draw one. So saving that up in spell manas, there we go. That's what I was looking for. And then this turn, we can either draw or drop a Phantom Prankster or a Senna here, whichever makes the most sense based on what they do. So, like, if they don't play anything aggressive here, we'll just put a Senna down so that we can quick attack with her next turn. If they do play something aggressive, we'll throw down Phantom Prankster, chump block with our Spider. Bing, bang, boom, we get a little bit of extra damage there. Alright, so it looks like we're gonna Senna here. Yeah. If they've got anything to play, they can play it, but we're gonna Senna here so that we can get in with a quick attack next turn. They may actually have the burn spell that kills her, which would be unfortunate, but not the end of the world. Come on. In that case, if they do have the burn spell that kills her, next turn we just Phantom Prankster, we put down Ravenous Butcher, sacrifice the Spider, and we get a free damage on the Nexus, which ties us up. There we go. That's what I was expecting. They did lose a card out of their hand for that too, though. Technically, they lost 2 cards out of their hand for 1 card out of ours, so we gain a little bit of card advantage there. And a little bit of... well, not really. We didn't really gain any tempo there because we have the same mana. They're going to have 2 stored as well. That's okay. That's perfectly fine. Hey, that works out even better. So what we're going to do here is we're going to Phantom Prankster first. Get our death triggers going so that we can start doing some damage to the Nexus. Now, they've either got to kill this or play something in response. It's really coming down to what they play here, but our plan is to drop another Hapless Aristocrat and then use Ravenous Butcher to eat it, getting us another Spider dealing a damage to their Nexus and setting us up to go in for 4.
What's that noise?
Is that the best play, though? Like, sitting on Ravenous Butcher till we get out the other Phantom Prankster could also be a very good play, but we're actually not going to get any death triggers here, although we don't really need a death trigger at the moment. We don't gain much value from it, so maybe we will just hold this back. We'll just hold it back and go in for 2. We're getting 2 damage here anyway. We are setting up for Phantom Prankster to do some fun things later. And if we get a second Phantom Prankster down before we Ravenous Butcher, we'll actually get more damage out of playing the Ravenous Butcher. Oh, and another Ravenous Butcher. That's what I like to see. Okay, that's a problem. However, it is a solvable problem. Especially since they're not running Deny. This is a easily solvable problem. We're going to go for that solution right now. Looking at our mana, is it best to do it... This might be a little bit greedy. It might be, especially if they manage to buff him at all. But I'm going to go for it. We're going to play another Phantom Prankster here, see if he decides to come in and attack. If he does attack here, it works out fine for us. If he doesn't attack, it still works out fine, because we're going to Ravenous Butcher, kill this guy, get a free Spiderling, deal 2 damage, and then Black Spear Heimerdinger. Oh, that's no fun. Why you gotta be like that? Okay, that's fine. They're gonna get a bot out of that, but we're also gonna get a damage out of that. It is a 3-1 elusive bot. That's not fun. They kill this guy. Get another Spider, deal another damage to their Nexus, and Heimer is going down this turn. They have no mana, they have no way to protect him. They are going to get this elusive unit, but that's not a huge threat to us at this point. It's only got 3 damage, it is elusive, so we can't really interact with it, but with Heimer dead, they can't really interact with anything we have on the board. And if they do, like if they decide to trade here with either of our Spiderlings, they lose 3 damage for 1 damage, which is fine. Yeah, that's fine. We're tied on health, I'm good with that. We'll have the mana advantage on our next turn. If we get anything that does even 1 damage, like this thing is basically useless. Oh, this is fun. This is very fun. Let's go with a Phantom Prankster here. And now if we do lose our... oh, that's... okay, that's actually okay. That's not what I thought it was. I thought that was the one that does 1 damage to every unit. I can't remember the name of it offhand. Yeah, so here we maybe go Senna. If we go Senna, what do we gain versus not going Senna? That's the biggest question. I mean, he doesn't have any mana, so if we go Senna, we gain the ability to just get a free quick attack, so I'll do that. There's no reason not to. With 1 mana, he's not going to be doing much of anything. Yeah, there's really no bad blocks here for us, and if they do kill anything when they block, we just get more damage, because we've got 2 Phantom Pranksters down. See, that's what I expected. I expected they would trade that elusive unit for the Ravenous Butcher, but that's totally fine. We have another Ravenous Butcher in hand, and they do not have another elusive unit. Look at that, just stacking up that damage. An extra 2 from our Phantom Pranksters there, and we're already double them on life. And if we really wanted to, we could also Ravenous Butcher here, sacrifice one of our Spiderlings. I'm not going to do that, though. Funsmith here is dangerous because they can play... I can't remember the name of him. He's like 5 mana. He does 1 to everything on the board. This will make it do 2 to everything on the board, so there's a very real chance that it just wipes everything except for our Phantom Pranksters. In that event, though... Ooh, okay. That's not fun. That looks like they're setting up for it, honestly. But they will need 1 more turn based on their mana to do that combo if that's what they're going for. They'll just put a Hapless Aristocrat out here. What you got? Oh, they're going for another Static Shock. Okay. So we could have got a little more value by playing Ravenous Butcher there, but we would have had to just give up a Spiderling, which didn't make a ton of sense. That's okay. They basically man it out. They don't really have a board. They have more cards in hand than we do, but we have a better board presence. This is fine. Honestly, if we could draw a champ right now, that'd be nice, though. We haven't seen any of our champs this game, and I'd really like to... There we go. That's what I wanted. Say hello to my little Thresh.
Stay back.
Okay, so Phantom Prankster's not going to be doing much for us the rest of the game. We've only got 1 left in the deck. We could still find it. It's just not something we're going to probably find easily. Okay, that wasn't necessarily worth, I guess. I mean... To me, that's a sign of desperation when you're playing that as a burst speed spell instead of, like, holding it to discard for something else. Oh, that's no fun. Why you gotta be like this? That's okay, though. We will see her die, which means Thresh will get a counter on him. Alright. That works. Now, the question is, do we also Ravenous Butcher here? That gives them the chance to counterplay, though, and I don't really like that. I kind of want to get the Funsmith off the table. Yeah, let's get the Funsmith off the table. Okay, what you got? I love Thresh's line there. I own you. Yes, we do, Thresh. Yes, we do. Who is that in the picture right there? You guys see that, right? I'm curious who that is in that picture. We can't really see it. I bet you can see it in the full art of the card. Okay. That works. Oh, this is too good. Thresh is what? 4 in already. So 2 triggers and Thresh is going to be able to pull our Lucian out of the deck. Oh, that's not fun. That's definitely not fun. That guy has quick attack as well, which is doubly not fun. But in a way, it's really not that big of a deal. Because we're going to chump block that guy anyway. We can then potentially, like, use Ravenous Butcher to set up a kill on him later with our single combat here. This is fine. Just chump block here. Not going to take anything because he doesn't have Overwhelm. We will get another trigger on Thresh. And now we can level up Thresh just by playing our Ravenous Butcher. So the question is, do we want to give them a chance to play something first? And I think we do here. Oh, they're not going to play anything. Okay. So they're just sitting on their hand. Oh, that's perfect. That's too perfect. We're going to put out Curse Keeper here. And then we'll play Ravenous Butcher. Not Ravenous Booker. Ravenous Butcher. Kill this, get our Abomination, and in the process level up Thresh, allowing us to pull Lucian out of the deck. Deal 1 damage. Okay. We can live with that. Ravenous Butcher here. Now the only downside to this... Oh, he does gain more health when he levels, though, so we're fine. Yeah, there we go. There we go. I assumed they were bringing him down to 3 health because they have a 3 damage burn spell, and that was the big risk here. But it's no longer a risk because of the fact that he just leveled up. So now he's out of that 3 damage range, and we should at least get to attack with him and pull Lucian out of the deck. As well as pull this guy in front of him. Uh-oh. What are they doing? Creating a random spell. Okay. What's this thing, though? Come on. Show me the money. What are you doing? Kill a unit with 3 power or less. Do we get to counter with... Okay, we do get to counteract here a little bit. So what I'm going to do is, since we're going to lose the Ravenous Butcher anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and nail that guy for 3 in the process. Which will basically cause this spell to fizzle. We'll get 3 damage on this. We are going to lose our spider here, nothing to be done about that. But in exchange, that's going to set us up to basically pull Lucian out of the deck. And make sure this guy dies, and Lucian will trigger a rally here and we'll probably finish the game. This is exactly what we want to happen, right? Bam, here comes Lucian out of the deck. Oh, he won't trigger a rally because we don't actually have him at level 2 yet, sadly. But even without triggering a rally here, we've got 8 damage on the table. There's really nothing they can do unless they kill one of these off. Yeah, we win. Beautiful. So there you go. That's how the deck is meant to work. We had just enough death triggers to flip Lucian, or flip Thresh over to level 2, and then pull Lucian out of the deck to get that nice solid win. Okay, so we have enough time to maybe do one more. Let's do one more game with it. Maybe we'll run into a little bit more adversity this time. The problem with single champion decks like that is that if everything is based around that one champion, then the goalposts for winning are to kill the one champion, right? All we had to do there was make sure that Heimer didn't stay on the board, and we took a huge amount of power away from the deck. Okay, this is going to be different. So decks that don't run champions are actually a little bit harder to deal with because the number of strategies they could be employing is sort of unlimited, and you never know exactly what they're going to be breaking out on you. This is a pretty decent start. I actually kind of like this. I don't know if we need 2 Phantom Pranksters. They are better in doubles than singles. But I'd kind of like something to help us trigger Curse Keeper here. I think this is fine, though. We'll keep it. We'll keep it. It has a Lucian in it. We've got a Phantom Prankster. We've got a Curse Keeper here. Oh, and there's our trigger for the Curse Keeper. 2, 3, 4. Hello, hello. Let's go. I love it. Does Lucian have to be on the board for that to trigger? That's what I'm curious of. I think he does. So we may want to get him out sooner than later. This is Piltover and Freljord, so if we put him out, they could just kill him for 3 damage, which would be annoying, but whatever. I think what we'll do is we'll go with Curse Keeper first. We'll kind of set up our kill combo, and then we'll put Lucian down to absorb the kills that he gets to see. We don't need to rush him out super early. That would just be dangerous because they'll probably just kill him off. And I would rather that kill spell go to something else like the Chronicler or the Phantom Prankster, which is just fine. We'll go Curse Keeper here, even though we now have the Warden's Prey, which is also a nice trade. This is great because we're going to go in for our 1. They're either going to give it to us or they're going to kill him and give us a 4/4. Either way, we win.
They're out there.
Ooh, okay. That's not fun. What you got? You going to block it? You going to give me a 4/4? You going to let me hit for 1? Okay, that's what I would have done too, because this guy can't block right now. They can come in for 4 damage here. There's literally nothing I can do about it except for eat it. However, Warden's Prey is in our hands, so if they give us the chance to play anything, we'll probably put that down first. If they don't give us the chance to play anything, if they just go in right here, then we'll probably play Senna, and then next turn we'll just drop Lucian. Yeah. Okay, this is fine. This is fine. We'll just put Senna down here, and then next turn we'll drop Lucian, and if they kill either one of them, I mean, they do have 3 mana here, so they could... Sorry guys, my hair is, like, annoying me right now. Anyways, if they do have a kill spell here, they can kill Senna. If they don't have a kill spell, though, and we get to put Lucian down next turn, then there's really no way for them to come out on top, because if they kill Lucian, Senna becomes kind of strong, and if they kill Senna, Lucian becomes kind of strong, so, like... This is your opportunity right here. Ah, here it comes. Yeah, that's kind of what I expected. It's alright, though. We kind of wanted to bait that out. Lucian is more valuable than Senna anyway. Nice. So that actually works out in our favor here. The real question is how we want to set up these death triggers. This guy having so much power right now on the board makes it kind of tenuous not to put Lucian out next turn and just go in. But at the same time... Oh, okay. That makes things a lot better. That makes things a lot better. So in this instance, I think the best play is to just go in with Lucian. If they don't play anything in response to us playing Lucian, then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and throw out Warden's Prey as well, because the assumption there is that they then don't have a a follower in their hand that's worth playing. Okay. Sweet, we'll take a Warden's Prey as well. We don't really have any spells that we're holding up mana for. This will still store 1 spell mana, but it does set us up for a nice little attack here where if they block anything, Lucian's gonna get in, hurt them. Now there is a chance that they'll Frostbite Lucian here. If they do that, it's okay, we are holding another Lucian. They're not Frostbiting Lucian, because if they were gonna Frostbite Lucian, they would have blocked with this guy to make sure they killed him. Which means this is just kind of a beneficial trade for us all around. Nice, and we got a 1-mana creature so that we can go ahead and drop that down. They do have priority, so we have to wait for the priority to come back to us, but we can actually use that 1 mana and put a Yeti Yearling down. Oh, that's no fun. I mean, he doesn't have Overwhelm, though, so it kind of doesn't matter. Although this deck does have... No, it actually doesn't. I thought this was playing Noxus, but it's not, so they don't really have many ways to give him Overwhelm either. We'll go ahead and put the Yeti Yearling down. This is a nice little death trigger. We only need 3 more death triggers before Lucian pops off. We'll get one of them potentially next turn with our Chronicler of Ruin, which will be able to turn this into a 4/4, as well as give us another one of these guys. Or we could shuffle more Enraged Yetis into our deck. Those are really strong too. I'm actually not sure which of those I prefer at the moment. Either way, though, it may actually be more beneficial. Yeah, let's do this. Let's put out a Phantom Prankster so we can get some benefit from our death triggers. Oh, sad tears. Sad tears. Phantom Prankster coming in. He knows what's up. He knows what's up, guys. He knows. He knows what he done. Or what's about to get done to him. Okay, so we'll put out another Curse Keeper here. We are going to be full on board here in a second, but that's not really that big of a deal. Being full on board is not a negative thing in any context. And we can actually rally next turn if we want to, so that we can go in really, really hard and heavy early, and then go really hard and heavy after as well. Okay, this is actually great for us. This is perfect. Like, thank you. Let me just block here and get a death trigger for this, as well as for Lucian, and get 2 Enraged Yetis. Okay, that was kind of great for us. Thank you. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. Alright. Round 6. Fight! Oh, we have a Thresh here as well. We could play the Thresh, but I feel like that's actually more dangerous than just going in. Yeah, that's more dangerous than just going in. If they have a Frostbite here, they're going to kill Lucian anyway, so... Oh, wait a minute, what am I doing? We're not going in with that. That would be silly. Gosh, this is great, though. Okay, so if they have a Frostbite here, which they probably do, yeah, this is kind of what I expected. Okay, so we're going to lose Lucian here, which would be a problem if we didn't already have another Lucian in hand. We are going to get a trigger from Phantom Prankster, though. And I mean, actually... Okay, yeah, if we would have played Rally there, we wouldn't have another Lucian. I was going to say we could have rallied and then thrown Lucian down, but Lucian was the rally. What do we want to do here with the remaining mana that we have? So we could go 4/2. Actually, yeah, I kind of like that.
There's a chill in the air.
Another Lucian. Got another kill spell? Didn't think so. Let's blow this guy up. And get a damage in there, as well as Lucian seeing a death trigger. Oh, it does reset Lucian's death trigger, though, when he dies. That's unfortunate. But, I mean, we're still really, really strong on board right here. Pick a card in hand, shuffle 4 copies of it into your deck. That could be problematic. I don't know what they just did that with, but that could be problematic. 4 copies of anything really good could be a problem. Okay, so we do have double Threshes here. It would actually be really nice if we could clear something off of our board so that we could double Thresh. Because the Thresh card we would get is the box, which would deal 3 damage to this guy and make it a lot easier to finish him off next turn. Come on, what you doing? Not going in at all, alright. So basically he's ensuring that Lucian can't attack, that's what that was. But everything else can. And he has to block here or he's just going to take a ton of damage, even if he just blocks a 1/1. This is a fine trade for us. This is also a fine trade for us. Oh, that's not fun. But there's a good chance he won't get anything that frostbites, and if he doesn't, we basically just come out on top here. Yeah, we get a death trigger there, Lucian sees another death, we get a death trigger there, Lucian sees another death. Beautiful. He is one death away from leveling up, which is perfect. Ooh, zero cost Omen Hawk's not fun though. So we're not going to be able to force another death trigger here, but we have enough mana to go Thresh and Phantom Prankster. So I'll put a Phantom Prankster out. If we're lucky, he'll view the double Phantom Prankster as enough threat and he'll kill one of them. If he does, that'll trigger Lucian right here. What you gonna do? Yeah, okay. He only has 2 damage there though. That's not enough to kill it. It is enough to gravely wound it, but not enough to kill it. Also, by the way, Thresh.
Sentinels don't work with monsters.
I love that dialogue. That's why they're mortal enemies, guys. Sentinels don't work with monsters. And now we've hurt Thresh's feelings. God, Thresh is awesome. I'm digging the interaction between these two in the deck is quite fun. Actually, that's one of my favorite things about this game is the interaction between the champions and stuff that you see when you're playing. Okay, come on. What you doing? 2 damage to all units. That's actually kind of problematic here. We're gonna lose our Lucian unless he is 1 trigger away. So if this kills that first, he would technically level up. I don't think that's how that works though. Okay. Yeah, that's not how that works. However, Thresh is probably gonna level here. And we're gonna get some abominations. Oh, he didn't level, but he's super close now. Actually... let's put this guy down.
Where are you?
Oh boy. Summon each Elnuk in the top 10 cards of your deck. So that's what his deck does. However, we have the box, which is going to create some problems for him. Because the box will deal 3 damage to each of these guys, putting them well within range to be killed by anything we block with. Killing them will trigger Thresh to level up. Thresh leveling up means that Lucian will come into combat next turn when we swing. We're in a pretty good spot here. Even if that doesn't trigger... okay, that's fine. Even if this doesn't, like, wound them enough, it's not that big of a deal. We still have the Chronicler of Ruin, which we can use on the Hapless Aristocrat to get our last death trigger and level up Thresh. The main thing here is we need to keep Thresh alive. But, like, if they come in here, they lose 2 Elnuks, they take 2 damage. It's really not advantageous for them to come in at all. And if they don't come in, we're just going to finish them next turn.
You weren't always this way.
There we go. Alright. Yeah, it is about to get much worse. Thresh has got them. Thresh knows what's up. So we didn't get that extra Hapless Aristocrat here. I wonder how his ability works as far as, like, bringing a champion onto the board attacking if you're already at max slots, because that's potentially a problem for us. Although, when Thresh pulls something here, he will probably die, and we do have another Lucian in hand, so it's kind of whatever. Let's go ahead and pull one of the Elnuks out, and then we'll just put everybody in the board. Let's go! We're coming in. Oh, by the way, here comes the Lucian. Oh, it pulled it out of our hand, though. That's actually inconvenient. I mean, he does still get quick attack here, which is great. But they have a progress day, which could spell trouble for us, since now they have access to 3-cost spells. Okay, that's not going to help much. I think what this deck does is make tons of counterfeit copies of the Elnuks, and then look to summon each Elnuk that's in the top 10. But we already won here anyway. Yeah, this is it. This is what I'm saying, guys. Phantom Prankster puts in so much work in this deck. So much work. 2 quick, clean victories from Mortal Enemies. I hope you guys enjoyed this deck tech. I will put a deck code down in the description so that you can grab it, or actually, I'll make it a pinned comment for you guys. I'll make it a pinned comment. If you guys have any comments, feedback, whatever you want to leave, feel free to leave that down in the comment section, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to go ahead and give us a like or subscribe to the channel, and we will see you next time. Bye!